During the early days of my healing journey from an autoimmune condition, I would wake up in the morning and just feel the weight and heaviness of the previous day. I had no other intention other than just to make it through the day. And I felt like this human ping pong ball being bounced around from one person's knee to the next, or one thing checked off the to-do list and then another. And I found it so difficult to make decisions, especially in regards to my health, because I wasn't grounded in myself. I wasn't grounded in my own energy. So if this sounds a little like your story, then I'd like to share with you some morning and evening practices that are simple yet so powerful. And initially, for me, it started with just a few minutes a day. And now that has grown, and I genuinely look forward to these times every single day. And they can help you ground your energy. And if you're anything like me, to reclaim your power that so many of us unconsciously give away. Blessings. This is Brenda Carey, and I'm a holistic healer for highly sensitive souls. And my intention for this channel is to share insight and wisdom that I learned from my healing journey of a digestive autoimmune condition so that you can awaken your inner healer. And I'd like to share with you some wisdom that I picked up from a time in my healing journey where I needed to make some serious decisions about my health. And as I mentioned before, I was feeling like a ping pong ball, being bounced around from one person's knee to another thing checked off the to-do list. And honestly, the heaviness of that made me feel really purposeless at the end of the day. And I remember I was always in even a low-grade state of fight or flight, even when I thought I felt calm. And it was like my brain always had the switch on. Very seldom was the switch off. And I needed to find a way to allow my brain, my body, everything to settle and to stop feeling like I was just being tossed around from one person's whim to the next. I also was realizing that my energy was constantly splayed outwards, and I was receiving a lot of information from well-meaning experts and opinions on how to heal or how not to heal. But I needed to filter that through my own inner wisdom, but didn't feel grounded enough in my own energy to do that. So I'm going to share with you, first of all, the gist of a podcast that I listened to, and I wish I could remember the name of it. My apologies for not crediting it. But it essentially said this, that every day is meant to be sacred, and that we treat it like a ceremony. And it's that nature shows us this. When the sun rises, we are gifted with the beauty of light for that day. And it sets the tone for the gift of today. And then in the evening, we have the quieting of the evening into the darkening into night. And that is our daily ceremony. And I don't necessarily mean this in any religious way, but in a way that truly honors our whole being. And I had to admit to myself that I really wasn't treating my days as sacred. And I knew that needed to be a regular and daily part of my practice in order to receive my own power back. Because I was essentially unconsciously giving it away over and over again, whether that was through, checking my email constantly, whether that was answering someone else's need without checking in to see if I had the capacity to do it. And so I started what I called bookend ceremonies to every day. And I'm going to go through those with you and take in what resonates with you and leave to the side what doesn't. But hopefully some of these ideas will spark an interest for you to begin your own morning and evening, whether you call it ceremony or sacred quiet time, in order to check in with your own inner wisdom that we all have. We all have it. So to start, in the morning, and this was a time when my children were very little, so I didn't have a lot of time to devote to a morning practice. But I essentially took 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and here is the basic framework for my morning and evening quiet times. And that is simply doing something to honor my body, honor my mind, and then honor my spirit. And when I initially started, it was 5 minutes, and I took 2 minutes to honor my body. And that was just some basic stretching to open up my heart space, a little bit of deeper breathing, and then 2 minutes to honor my mind. I did a very short 2-minute meditation. That was it. And then 1 minute of honoring my spirit. And I would place my hands on my heart, breathe really deep, and just simply ask, what do I need to see today? Or what do I need to listen to today? And I would just hold that silence for 1 minute. And that's how I started every day. It set the tone for my day. It made me so much more grounded, knowing that I didn't always have to rush off and do the next thing, that I could take these 5 minutes and really be intentional of making my life a sacred experience. So that is my invitation for you. How will you start the day to make it a time that feels sacred? And then in the evening, as you move through your day, we come to the end of the day. And this is probably a little bit more difficult for me because I have all this accumulated information throughout the day, all the experiences, all the happenings, and to wind down in order for me to sleep well took a little bit more time than just 5 minutes. So in the evening, after I would put my kids to sleep, I used to sit in front of the television and just kind of zone out. But I realized that really wasn't treating my day as a sacred gift. So I changed that. And initially it was about 10 to 15 minutes. That has since increased. And again, I would do something for my body, my mind, and my spirit. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in that order. Like you could always reverse the order. You could always start with the mind. But the essence of it is to recognize the wholeness of you, because that creates sacredness. So I would start with, usually I would actually start with my mind, because I needed to pour out all of that information I had been storing. So I would just do a few minutes of journaling. I would always put in some things or people or situations that I was grateful for. Gratitude puts us in a state of receivership. And then I would do 2 of my favorite honoring my body practices, and that is bringing my legs up the wall, which is a nice gentle inversion to bring the blood flow into the heart and the head. And that was just a nice way to calm and relax the nervous system. And then after I did that for a couple minutes, I would sit and massage the soles of my feet, because I don't know if you're anything like me, but I live in my head a lot, probably a little too much. And so to draw that energy down from my head to my lower legs and my feet helped me to fall asleep. And then finally, my practice in the evening to honor spirit was just, again, to close my eyes down. I place my hands on my heart. And sometimes it would be as simple as just saying, thank you, thank you, thank you for this day. And sometimes I would use my own voice. And for me, sound is a very healing practice. And I might even just sing a short song to help calm my nervous system. And it also activates the vagus nerve, which is so important for those of us going through a healing journey. So what is it for you? How can you treat your life as this sacred ceremony? How can you honor the rhythms of the day that we are gifted with? And that can really shift our perspective from always being outward to coming in and setting the tone for our day in the morning, and then revisiting that and closing it out as we drift into the evening. And if you're comfortable, please share that in the comments. And if you're like, I don't do that and I have no idea where to start, I will put a video at the end of this one. It's a short 5-minute meditation and that you can do at any time, morning, evening, if you need a break during the day, to help calm that nervous system. Because once I did feel grounded in my own energy, those decisions that I needed to make about my health came so much easier. And that is my wish for you, friend, that you are grounded in your own energy, that you stand firm in your power. And as always, blessings on your healing journey.